Back again YouTube. It's been now 15 hours now since I've put the first video out. I'm not interested in looking at the stats nor seeing what's happening with that. I'm purely now focused on trying to build and put out the best possible content that I can for you guys. I must say though, after all the nerves last night of uploading, I'm starting to feel just a little bit more relieved that I finally mustered up some courage to actually put myself out there, because this is completely out of my comfort zone. But the chance of trying to help someone has been a massive encouragement, and now I'm finally out there for the long run. Now, before we begin, I want to quickly run you through the application that we're going to be creating, so you have a visual knowledge of what we're about to accomplish and an idea of the file structure and some of the code snippets that we're going to be writing. As I said, I will be holding your hands all the way through these blocks of videos, and we recommend that you post down into the comments any queries or questions that you have about what we're doing, and I'll do my best to try and find you the best possible answer. Also guys, I will be eternally grateful if you subscribe to the channel, like and share the videos. It will go a long way in helping this channel grow, because there's going to be plenty of content and value to digest, I promised you that. Also guys, I've created a brand new GitHub account where I will be uploading all the course materials after each blocks. I will leave links down in the descriptions for you, so you can head over there after the videos and check those out. I mean, you could download it, clone it, and do whatever you want with the materials. If you're not following through the course and would rather review the source code afterwards, you're completely free to do that. That's completely up to you, but I do recommend that you follow along, because that will help you massively. So without further ado guys, I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see what I'm seeing, so we could quickly run through this application so you got an idea of what you're actually going to be creating. Now before I start, I want to point out that my stack of choice is the LAMP stack, which is an acronym. The LAMP stack is basically a bunch of open source software that we can put together to build web application, and it basically means Linux operating system, Apache HTTP server, we got MySQL, which is MySQL, which is a database management system, and PHP, which is our language of choice. So before we start, I'm going to go in and open up XAMPP, which is what we're going to be using as a local environment to build our application in. There's plenty of alternatives out there, but I'm using XAMPP. It's my personal favorite one to use, so that's what we're going to be using. So once we enter the htdocs directory, you can see this is where we keep all of our applications that we want to be able to access via localhost. So the directory that we're interested in going into is this project directory right here. And you can see what we've got is a bunch of directories, and we've got subdirectories, we've got root files, we've got everything here that deals with the entry point of our application, like our index file, for example. This is our bootstrap file, and this takes all the requests coming in and route it to the appropriate controller. But we're not going to look at that for the moment. We're going to look at the core directory, but before that we're going to show you that we're using Composer to do all of our dependency management, which is pretty standard now when you're doing any PHP application. Our config directory consists of YAML files, and that's what we're using for all of our configurations, and we're using external library from Symfony to help parse these YAMLs configuration files. You could also see that we got a core directory, and this contains the bulk of our application code. It's where everything is defined. It's where we implement all of our interfaces, all of our main classes, and you can quickly see what we've got here. We've got sessions. So we're going to be implementing sessions within our application, which is standard. If you're going to do anything like registration or user system, you need sessions to help persist that user across your site. What else we got? We got Twig. So that's the next external library that we're going to be using to help render our front end UI. We got caching. We got containers. So we're using dependency injections. So you can see that we got a database directory right here, which contains two files or interface on our main database class. Now, as I said earlier, my database of choice is a MySQL database. It's the most popular database management system. It's used by just about everyone, with the exception of a few who's using NoSQL database. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I will be using a MySQL database purely because it's more widely used. We will also be using PDO data object, or PDO for short, as this provides a consistent interface for accessing our database. We're also going to be building a small ORM, which stands for Object Relational Mapping, and it basically means we are mapping objects to each table in our database, and with the methods we're going to be encapsulating in our classes, it will allow us to abstract away any tedious code, because we want to keep our code base as dry as possible. And the term dry is another web terminology which stands for don't repeat yourself, which in plain English just means don't write the same code twice. So we want to adhere to good coding practice like that. What else have we got? We got a plugin system that we will be creating later on, and the idea behind this is to help us to extend the functionality or extend the core functionality of our application. We're going to be doing some REST APIs, so we're going to be building them from scratch. We've got a query builder which helps us to construct our queries, and we've got that wrapped in a class, so we're not writing queries in different classes. We've got it contained or encapsulated in one place, and we can basically use that wherever we want. Other stuff we're using, like we've got a router right here, which is one of the most important classes, because this is how we're able to route requests to controllers, which then process that request and send you back a response. If we go back to the main folder, we go into app. The app directory contains everything that we construct from our core directory. So all of our controller class contains methods that we would have created within our core directory, so we can then easily reuse them to pull whatever information or process whatever request is coming in. And if we sort of like look at a class to give you an example of how I've laid it out, so let's have a look at the user controller, which is located within our admin directory. And you can see we start the class with declaring a strict type, because we're going to be using strict coding. You can see we got stuff like type inting, so we're sort of like defining the data type for this particular argument. So we're saying that it's an array, and if it's not an array, we're going to return an exception. So that's basically how we're going to be writing our code. And we've got a basic constructor which extends or implement the parent constructor, and this is coming from the base controller class. But again, you will see what we're doing right here and why we're doing this. You can see we also got some filters. We got a before filter, we got an after filter, and what that does is that we can pass information, or we can request stuff before a controller is called, or we can do the same after a controller is called. This is our route. So we got our main index route, which shows the main home page or whatever you set as that index page, and we've got an action prefix, and this is important because this is how our router define our path. Without this action, it's not a route, it's just a method. So this is our main index action, and this will basically show our data table with our users within that table, and it will give us the option to paginate, to sort that data, to edit that data, to delete that data, or to add new data. Show action, basically showing the user information on a specific page if we wanted to use this option or that route. So as you can also see, we got a new action route, and what the new action route is, it allows us to add an item to our database. And in this instance, we're in the user control class, so we're adding a new user to our database table. And you can see we're doing quite a lot here just to ensure that our data is valid and is coming from a single source, which is us, and not from anywhere else. You can see that we got these chaining methods, and these are what we created in our data repository, which helps us to persist data to the database. So you notice that we've not got no queries, we've not got no CRUD function going on. Well, we've got CRUD function going on, but we've done it in a way that allows us to easily add data to our database table, or retrieve data, or if we're deleting data. And you can see we've got our render method down here, and this basically displays our registration form for us to create a new user. And scrolling down, we got our edit action, and as it says, edit allows us to edit that particular item that we have just put in our database, or existing items, or user, whatever controller we are working in. And again, we got helper method that helps us to retrieve data from the database very easily. Same for our delete action. You see we got method like find by ID and delete, which easily allows us to delete item without writing tedious code. So that's a basic run through of how we're going to be structuring our code, how we're going to be writing it. I said I'm excited about this. I hope you guys are, because hopefully we're going to be learning quite a lot when it comes to server-side coding, so you can then take what you've learned here and you can go and implement it in your own project, or you could walk away from this knowing something more. And that's the main aim. That's the main aim for this, is so you can walk away and saying that I've learned something. And if you learn something from this, that's value, and that's good enough for me. So hopefully guys, you're excited about this as I am. So I'm happy to share my work with you guys, so you can then take it and learn from it, or use it alongside what you've already got, or you can use it to validate what you've already got. But yeah, I'm excited about it. Let's get it going. So before we go guys, this wasn't really part of the plan, but I thought I would give you a visual representation of what we can actually create with the application that we're going to be writing. And you can see right here, we've got a content management system, and it's a basic UI that I've put together. It's got all the basic stuff that you will come to expect with content management system. We got CRUD functionality, we got a relationship between tables, we got a user management system, we got roles and permissions. So we got our user table right here. As you can see, this is what the data table that we built, this is what it looks like. So we got sorting going on, so we can sort by whatever key that we set. We can sort by we can sort by name, publish, whatever. We can do all of that. We can set whatever we want. We got pagination going on down here, so we got a table. We can scroll through that table. We can edit that user, as you can see. We can delete that user. We get a little message right here that says, are you sure you want to delete? You could say delete, or you could cancel, and it will cancel that request. We got status, so we could query by active users, pending user, or user that's been locked or trashed. Again, we can make this whatever we want. This is just what I've put together so you can see it. We could add new user right here. Quickly add John Doe. Again, we can set the roles right here. We can change the status. It's save, and we should be able to create that user, add that user to our database. And that's how easy it is. It automatically sends an activation email. Again, we will go through all of that. So this is a basic UI of the application that we're going to be creating. We got charts, we got data table, we got all sorts going on. So you will see what we're doing. We're going to be creating this. This is a project that we're going to be doing at the very end. Once we get all of our core functionalities in, we're going to be putting something like this together. As you can see, we also got little slide out menus that does a lot of different stuff. You know, we got our post sections, so we can post content, we can create categories, we can create tags, and they come in a modal form. So we can add category, again, whatever. We can save that. It saves to the database, and yeah, we can delete that. So it's all functional, it all works. We're following good practice right here, guys. So this is a quick visual representation of the code base that we're going to be creating, so you can see what we can actually do with it. So take care.